Hi everyone, Aaron here for Zollotech, and there has been some huge leaks today with regards to the new iPhone coming out later this year, iOS 13, watchOS, and macOS. And the first thing is iPhone 11, or the 2019 iPhones. And the 2019 iPhones, we kind of have an idea of what it probably will look like based on molds, since they have to produce them pretty early on to get them ready for September. But the new iPhones should have a redesigned antenna with a focus on improved indoor navigation. So Apple's been working on this for quite some time, using your maps indoors with things like malls and different well-known places such as airports. But with an improved antenna system, not only would it improve cellular and Wi-Fi, but it will also improve indoor navigation. Now, with iOS 13, there are a lot of new rumors, and many of them are probably confirmed, although they could change at any point. They're from very, very reliable sources. So far, there are no new rumors of a total redesign, and that doesn't mean there won't be a redesign, but it just means there aren't a whole lot of rumors supporting that. Maybe they've kept that secret as to what it will actually look like. Also, there's no information as to which devices will still be supported, such as the 5S here. We may see support for it. More likely, it will support the 6S and newer, but we don't have that 100% confirmed at this point. The new things will be more of a focus on performance and bug fixes, which is good. This is the first time we're hearing this. iOS 12 was all about performance and bug fixes. Apparently, iOS 13 will be about the same thing. And then, of course, dark mode. I've mentioned that before. But one of the new things is a sleep mode. So not only do not disturb, but a sleep mode that will better help you silence different notifications and things that you might receive. So you can put them to sleep, it won't wake your phone up, and it'll either help you sleep better, or maybe it's just you don't want notifications. We don't have a lot of details, but that's one of the first things. The next thing is an updated iMessage. So in iMessage here, not only will we have a new place for Animoji and Memoji separately with their stickers, but we'll also have more of a WhatsApp style profile picture and a display name that you can choose who you want to see it. So it'll be more like that. Of course, it will stay secure and things like that. Also, Maps will be updated, so if you're using Apple Maps, so within Maps we'll be able to more easily see our more recent and frequently visited locations and share that information with others. So if you need to meet someone somewhere, you can share that. You can do those things now, but it will be easier to do. Now, the next thing is reminders, and I talked about them redesigning reminders before, but apparently it's going to have more of a tiled look, more similar to, say, Google Keep or something along those lines, and then also have reminders where you can set times of days and to-do lists and things like that, just to be a little bit more feature rich. So they'll have that as well. Also, they're going to redesign the Books app. Now, I don't even know if I have it on here. So apparently I do have it on here, and not only will we have our books in here, we'll also have a redesign of this. Whatever that means, we don't know right now, but also it will have a progress tracker for your books and rewards for completing books, I guess. So maybe more like your activity on your watch. Also, there'll be a redesigned health app. So within health, not only will we have our steps and information like this, but we'll also have views of daily activity, tracking, and more. So there'll be a lot more features in here as well. And then one thing I've been really looking forward to is redesign for mail, or a lot of features added. And you can see I'm using Spark right now, but I'd go back to Apple Mail if they'd add a few features with things like mute threads. You can block mail and better folder management, and supposedly more than just that. Also, there's supposed to be finally a new swipe style keyboard, kind of like Gboard here. So you can just say, "Hi, how are you today?" and just do that instead of typing, and it will do it by itself. So it didn't do it quite correctly there, but you get the idea. That's been something that's on third-party keyboards and also all Android phones for quite some time, and it'll be really nice to have it natively built into iOS. And then I've mentioned this before, this has to do with iPad as well, but on the iPad, a new multitasking interface along with some new animations. So not only swiping up like this, but there should be something that looks a little bit different and a better way to manage that. There's still no news about split screen, although that would be great with split view on the iPhone with the bigger iPhones. Now, the final update that we know about is going to be useful for a lot of users, and that is accessibility. So under settings, you have to go to general and then accessibility with iOS 12, but instead of that, it will have its own menu and also a lot of different features, or maybe some new features, especially focused for those that are hearing impaired this time around as well. So there should be a lot more compatibility with that as well. Now, aside from iOS, there's going to be a lot of updates for Apple Watch, and Apple Watch is going to get a dedicated app store. So instead of having to install your apps from your iPhone, you can install them directly through the App Store on the watch itself. So that will be really nice. There, of course, will be new watch faces and supposedly larger typeface watch faces. So for those that may be visually impaired, you'll be able to see it a little bit better if you needed a larger watch face. Hopefully there'll be customizable watch faces, but we don't know that yet. Also, Animoji and Memoji sticker support will be coming along with messages. And then aside from that, we'll get voice memos, calculator, and a books app in here as well. So we can listen to audiobooks on the go and also use voice memos a little bit better, things like that, right from the watch. So it sounds like they're separating the watch into kind of its own thing that may not require an iPhone. We don't know that just yet. And then also it'll get the same health tracking updates that iOS is getting as well. Now finally, when it comes to the macOS 10.15 will also get those iMessage stickers and effects like we have on iOS with iOS 13 and also watchOS 6. But aside from that, it will also gain a new app for managing music. So instead of having iTunes, it looks like we're going to move to more of a music style app. Hopefully this gets a redesign as well. Not a huge fan of this music app, but maybe they'll redesign it. I don't know. And then also a separate podcast app for the Mac as well. So looks like everything's going to change and be more like iOS for the good in some areas and maybe not so much, I don't know, with macOS. Now, I've talked about a lot of other rumors before in a couple other videos, so if you want to see those, check those out. There is a lot coming to iOS 13, and we will see that the first week of June. We'll see what it looks like. It won't release until September, though, so keep that in mind. If you're in the beta program, though, you can check it out, but it's usually a bad idea with the first betas. Not usually so stable, except iOS 12 was okay. And then there was one more rumor about 2020 with new 5G support and AR functionality being added to the iPhones, but that's over a year off, so we'll talk about that later on when we get some more information. So that's it for all of the rumors and updates or leaks so far. They're pretty well backed based on who they're coming from. I'll link that in the description below. And if you'd like to get your hands on this wallpaper, I'll link that there as well. If you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe. And if you enjoyed this video, give it a like. If not, the other one's okay too. As always, thanks for watching. This is Aaron. I'll see you next time.